iron in the soul. What's up, YouTube? This is your brother King Jabez, back to say another very important message. Please subscribe to my channel, like this video, share this video, leave a comment, let me know what you think about my content. In addition to that, please feel free to follow me over on Instagram at @TheKingJabez, as well as my website, theironsoul.com. Whatever you do, it will be greatly appreciated. Let's do some work. Let's talk about today a very important subject, and that is chosen ones. Your presence is literally 1 in a million. So this is a subject I know a lot about. When you have that presence, it is undeniable. People will, you can walk into a room and people will stop their conversation mid-sentence, start staring. They'll be watching you. Why? Because you have an aura about yourself. You have a presence. In other words, you have a gift that has been given to you by the Most High himself. You are like a diamond walking around the earth. And when you enter a room, a business, an establishment, a home, wherever, your presence is felt. And so people are forced to make an assessment. And when they do this, they often make one that leads to jealousy, that leads to hatred. This is why many chosen ones have to have a season of isolation. This is why chosen ones are often not welcome. I talked about all that in my videos. You sometimes feel unwelcome because you have God in you. And that God in you makes others around you begin to examine themselves. In other words, you literally become like this aroma of life and death all at the same time. So some people see you and they are inspired, they are uplifted, they make decisions to grow and to become a better person. And other people see you and all they can think about is their shortcomings, what they're not. See, when the real deal comes into any environment, all the fakes, the snakes, the liars, the false have to examine themselves. See, people know when their replacement is right before their eyes. This is what happened with King David and King Saul. King Saul knew that David was his replacement. He had a presence that Saul did not have. He had an authority. He had an anointing. He had a oil, if you will. You see, oil changes everything. I use these oils on me every day. This is called Sunset Heat. I put this oil on. It smells real good. I'm going to put that on now just to kind of change my vibe. Man, it smells good. I got the oil for that. I got the oil for my beard. Beard oil for beard guys. I wear that pretty much every day. This is something my wife found for me. This is Dry Skin Pond's Dry Skin Cream Face Moisturizer. Okay. Chapstick. You know where I'm going with this. I got all these oils. The oil is what gives you your presence. Not just this stuff I'm talking about right now, but we're talking about your anointing. It's like this oil, this anointing that people feel when you walk into a room. And your presence will open doors for you. Your gift will bring you before great men. This is what the word says in the ancient Hebrew scriptures. A man's gift makes room for him and brings him before great men. So when you have that presence, when you have that gift, that ability, that talent, this is for what I'm going to speak now to my artists. I'm going to speak now to my influencers, my comedians, my actors, actresses, my entrepreneurs, my creative people, the leaders of this next generation, those who have a desire for leadership, our future politicians, all of you chosen ones who have been called by God. I'm going to say this. See, because you think called by God means to be over a church. Called by God doesn't just mean to be over a church. Some of you are called to be leaders in the community. Some of you are called to influence the whole nation through your music. You are called to influence people through comedy. That's very popular. Acting. This helps people through the hard times in life. So called by God doesn't just mean you're serving within a church. You're called to influence the world for good. And that presence you have is going to bring you before kings. So what's going to happen is that the Most High is going to begin to bring kings and queens into your life. This is what happened with King Solomon. The wisdom he had, the mind he had, brought people from all over the earth. The queen from Africa came all the way there to meet Solomon. Different kings from all over the earth brought him gifts. Why? Because that presence, that oil he had on him, made others want to be around his presence. And this is why people gravitate towards you. If you notice, wherever you go, people gravitate towards you, whether this be at work, whether this be in your own personal family. Your energy gives people hope. That's a sign that you are truly a chosen one. When you enter into an environment, a job, it could be a bad job, and your presence makes it better, right? You could be somewhere working somewhere that's very undesirable, but you being there and having that strong aura, I've seen this in my own life, it will help people through their day. That's the type of power that's been given to you. And so people will go out of their way to come find you. They could come into a job, they could be in a bad mood, and they see you, and their whole vibe changes. This is the power that's been given to you. And that's that jewel, once again, that gift that's been given to you to influence the world around you. So this isn't given to you, again, because you're better than everybody else, but it's given to you to help other people. And the problem with this is that you have to be careful, because we live in a world where the jewels, the diamonds of the earth, are often abused and mismanaged. People often mismanage special people. Let me put that out there. And so that admiration very quickly turns into hatred, jealousy, and strife. A great example of this is with, rest in peace, the legendary Latino singer, Selena. Great talent, one in a million. Okay, influenced an entire nation through her musical dancing ability. Musical genius, I would say, in my humble opinion. And her presence was undeniable. That she had a gift. I mean, literally her being in the room made people smile. That's powerful. Everybody don't have that. That's your one in a million personality. And that presence, it created this jealousy. This is a great analogy for this teaching. Hear me on this, because you're going to go through this. I'm not saying that you're Selena, but in your own world, you're going to have the same effect upon people. So hear me out. So that presence that drew people to her and created her fame and you know, the influence she had over so many people, it also drew in haters, which was the president, I believe, of her fan club. Someone who was there initially as a fan, but became possessive and crazy. And it got to a place where she was now monitoring, right, her progress and the people who were around her. So whenever you have someone around you watching and monitoring who's talking to you, the people you have influence over, watch that person. They're very controlling, and that's a form of witchcraft. And they want to really dictate how you carry your life. And so she began to watch all she was doing, listen to her conversations, and eventually that jealousy and hatred and strife led to the murder of Selena. Okay, so this is what happens when you have that presence. It's undeniable. It's like a jewel. And what happens is that admiration can very quickly turn into hatred. So once again, let's go back to the analogy of the oil. Oil is used 190 times in the ancient Hebrew text. It carries the idea in one context of perfume. So oil is like this divine perfume or cologne that you wear every day. So imagine a beautiful woman going into a store with some perfume on. Everyone's going to notice her. Imagine a strong man, handsome man, tall man going into a room with some cologne on, nice clothes. You can tell he got money. He's going to be noticed. This is what your presence does as a chosen one. It has nothing to do with cologne and perfume. It's much deeper than that. Much deeper than that. You have a divine cologne on. Are you hearing me? You have a divine scent. So when people see you, they cannot forget you. It creates a reaction. Imagine going to a room. It's like, hold on, whoa, what just happened? Something happens. They feel that shift. There is a shift in the environment when you come in. So you carry this divine presence. You carry this divine perfume that makes you just undeniable. Makes you one in a million. And the downside to that, we talked about some of the positive, how it attracts people to you. The downside is that it creates this inferiority complex in those who may not be as confident as you are, or who may be struggling to find out who they are. You see, the hardest person to get along with is a person who doesn't like themselves. And the reality is we live in a world today where a lot of people don't like themselves. So if they don't like themselves, they're going to have a problem with you actually getting along with who you are and coming to peace with that. So this is what creates that intimidation. And this is why people will feel threatened when you come around. This is why people will say that you intimidate them. It is interesting that they use that word because, from my study and my teachings, intimidation is a form of witchcraft. Witchcraft is threefold: intimidation, domination, manipulation. Intimidation, domination, manipulation. These are the threefold chords that satanic and demonic people use to run this world. They intimidate, they dominate, and they manipulate. There are people out here who are master manipulators. They play mind games. That's how they get through life. There are others who just dominate everyone. They dominate with their money. They dominate with their sex appeal. They dominate with their influence. And there are others who intimidate. They try to basically punk you out of everything you are. So when you come around as a chosen one with a divine presence, they feel intimidated. And the reason they feel intimidated is because the witchcraft they've been using, they can't use on you. You're at a new level. And when you see the God in you is so powerful, they can't do nothing with you. That's what it is. That's what they're not going to tell you. They're going to say, oh, you're just arrogant. They're going to say, you are cocky. Who do you think you are? They're not going to say, man, I can't play with you. That's what it really is. They can't play games with you. They can't run game on you. They can't use you for their agenda. You stand your ground. You have principles. You have morals. You have an ethic that you live by. You know how to carry yourself. You watch this. You have moral fiber. You cannot have a presence without moral fiber. So you're not someone who is controlled by your lower nature. You see, when you have control over your sex urges as a man or woman, that gives you a great level of spiritual power, and that gives you a divine presence. And that presence will intimidate people who want to intimidate you. They want to use you for their agenda. Because remember, notice this, people who are chosen, there are evil people who want to use you on their side. And their goal is to corrupt you so that you can become like them versus them becoming more like you. So you're righteous. And righteousness gives you a shine, a glow that nothing else can do this. So when you have this divine presence, people feel your absence. Let me say that again. When you have this divine presence, people will feel your absence. When you are around and they are, in many cases, abusing you, especially at work. This happens a lot in the workforce with workplace bullying, trying to demote you because they want to make you look like you're not as powerful as what you really are. So you're the type of person, you could be at a job with no authority and people come confide in you. That's you. They come talk to you. They trust you. They respect you. See, you have a presence that a title can't give you. I don't need a title to be respected. Hello, somebody. I don't have to be called manager or CEO for you to respect me. Who I am merits respect. You understand me? I don't have to have manager, director, or CEO behind me. If you need a title for respect, that is a weakness. Respect should come from the way you carry yourself, from your conduct, from your conversation, and from your character. Let me say it again. This is Big Brother King Jabez. From your character, your conduct, and your conversation. The way you carry yourself, you understand? Your character, which can be duplicated. People can duplicate looks and all that type of dumb stuff, but you can't duplicate character. Because character is developed over time by passing these tests that other people have failed. That's how you get character. You have passed these tests that other people could not pass. And since you passed those tests, once again, God has revealed the secrets to you. Because the secrets belong to those who fear him. So you have passed test after test, went through trials, crossed over all these barriers, Unlock these ancient doors of new treasures of wisdom and insight and giftedness and ability. And because you have done all of this, there is an agenda to humiliate you. There is an agenda to use you. There is an agenda to bring you down from the high place that God's put you at. And when they can't do that, they feel some type of way. I have seen this in my life over and over again. When you leave people who've been abusing you, they feel some way because you are showing them you're not all that. You're not going to run me. I'm not going to sacrifice my life being around somebody that can't honor me, that can't value me. Listen to me. If a person doesn't honor or value you, get away. You don't spend your life for some job that don't value you. That means you don't value yourself. Hello. So when you value yourself, you make people value you. And if you can't value me, I'm going to leave. And I'm going to make you feel my absence. They know that void. They know when you're not around. They feel that guilt. That's what they're feeling. They're feeling guilt. They're feeling shame because they had a chosen one in their presence, a righteous one in their presence, someone from the Most High, and they mismanaged you. So now they're forced to deal with that. That they allow their hate, their jealousy, their insecurities, all those I's, insecurity, indecisive, intimidation, always going inward. Right? That's the purpose of all that, by the way, guys. The purpose of all of that is to make you, watch this, I'm teaching you something now, is to make you doubt who you are. That's what all that comes from. They're constantly trying to spew this venom on you to cause you to go inward and begin to doubt who you really are. And to take away or rob you of your confidence, to rob you of that presence you have, and to have you in a place of insecurity, indecision. And you can escape that pit of indecision, insecurity, and intimidation by knowledge. Right? Spending time each day. This is how Iron Soul became Iron Soul, by the way. I'm giving you some free game. I ain't on these talks just pulling these talks out of nowhere. This comes from hours of study. I'm telling you how I became who I became. When you study for hours and you read and reflect and think, people can't do you any kind of way. Mark my word, knowledge is power. You want to stand on something? Start reading some books. Increase your library. Feed your mind every day. You know how you feed your physical body? Feed that mind. Feed your spirit every day. This is how you gain power. This is how you gain that presence. If you made it this far in the video, so I'm still with you, big bro. This is how you get that presence. Through reading, fasting. I know you don't like that. Knowledge, study, reflection, having a journal, taking notes, thinking deeper than the average person. Because guess what? A lot of people can't think for themselves. A lot of people need someone else to think for them. But you're not that. You think for yourself. You are an independent person. You are a creative person. You're a leader. So when you have that presence, that will draw admiration as well as hatred. You become, once again, the aroma of life and death. You are life to some people, and to others you are death. You are a sign of their replacement. People know when their replacement is in the building. Okay? You know somebody around and you're like, man, they show you're not all that. And people feel that. People say, oh, well, no one's better than me. That's a lie. Somebody gonna tell Kobe you wasn't better than them? Come on now. Kobe's better than most people in the league. Almost all of them. The truth is sometimes people are better than you. And when you have this divine presence, you show that to others through your actions. And once again, through your character, your conduct, and your conversation. All of that creates this presence that is 1 in a million. You stand out. Let me encourage you. You are that red jewel. And as a red jewel, don't let people abuse you. I'm going to talk to you now as I close, as I wrap this up. Don't let people use you, because they'll try to use you. Work on becoming as confident as you can possible. Get as righteous as you can. You know why? Because when you are righteous, your mind is clear and you can receive thoughts directly from God. It will protect you. You'll get secrets that will guide you through this crazy world. Get as strong as you can. Okay? Physically, get in that gym, get into shape. You see, this presence is everything. So many people think presence is just looks. That's what a lot of people think. It's deeper than just looks. It's your spirit too. It just looks. Okay? It is the thoughts coming out of your mind. It is the type of presence you have based on the type of spirit that you have. That's the presence. So I want to encourage you with this message. Stay strong. Allow your presence to open doors for you. This is your big brother, King Jabez. Thanks for listening. God bless. Peace.